Today, we'll wind down the week and see what's going on in this Ohio race for governor. Republicans desperately do not want to give this one up. Dems, meanwhile, hoping to have a flip here. So let's glance at it. We'll start here with this news from Vivek Ramaswamy. He's not the nominee yet, but he has a commanding lead. He's doing a $10 million campaign blitz. And at this point, it looks like he needs it. Trump won the state handily at 24. Republicans had a flip in the Senate. But now we've got an open seat for governor. But so far, it looks like Ramaswamy has not been able to capitalize on the political lean of the state. So could Dems flip this seat? Well, let's get into this race on Wikipedia. Now, the primary is coming up May 5th. And we kind of know who the nominees are going to be already, but Republicans do have several candidates in the race. Ramaswamy, who you might remember ran for president in 24. He's kind of from that tech wing, and he is a backer of Trump. And of course, he does have the Trump endorsement here. He's also got Vance, he's got Musk. He's by far got the most out of anybody else. Now, in the polling here, there's nothing even from this year, but Ramaswamy has a massive lead. He's in the 70s, so there's not really much anticipation there. The Dems, meanwhile, have even less. They've got Amy Acton as their nominee, and she's the former director of the Ohio Department of Health, and that was right during COVID. So she might have had some competition, but in the end, it's just going to be her, and she's racking up the endorsements. So it's really all about the general election. Now, there is a libertarian candidate here. If it's somehow a really close race and there's more than two candidates on the ballot, it's possible that has an impact. But let's look at the head-to-head matchup here between Ramaswamy and Acton. Now, the big shock was this poll that came out last month. This is from EMC Research. This is a Dem-backed environmental poll, and it showed Amy Acton with a 10% lead here, 53 to 43. Now, that does seem like an outlier. I don't think anybody would expect her to win by that much, even if she does pull it out. The more realistic poll here is probably from Emerson, although this is outdated. It's from back in December. She was up by 1. The Qantas poll here also shows her up by 1. That's from this month. So a lot of room left here. Both candidates are in the mid-40s. And apparently Ramaswamy has not been running the greatest campaign. He knows this is a Trump state for sure. Acton knows the same. It's going to take a combination of Ramaswamy running a weak campaign and Acton running a strong one. She's got to get some of those disaffected Trump voters on her side. So it seemed like up until recently, this was a lean to likely Republican race. But if you take a look at the markets here, you can see this thing is dead even. And it was Republican favored up until very recently. Now it's pretty much 50-50 here on predicted. If you go to Polymarket, Dems are up by 5%, so a pure toss-up. And that was again after a pretty steady lead here for the Republicans. I think the Dem overperformance in a lot of these special elections is a factor here. Plus the poll that showed Acton up by 10. But I think few people are actually going to believe that. So could this seat flip? Yeah, it's totally possible. But I think it's more likely Republicans come out by the time election day actually rolls around. They might not be enthusiastic right now, but if you go back to 2018, the last time there was an open seat here, this was during Trump's first term, also during a blue wave. And you can see here Mike DeWine pulled it out by less than 4%. If we go down here and take a look at the general election polling, it did not look good here for DeWine. Some of the prediction sites actually had it flipping blue. And even in the final polls, DeWine was barely into the mid-40s. So there's going to be a lot of anxiety when the election day polling still has 8 to 10% undecided. But in the end, like I just said, most of them broke for DeWine and he pulled it out by more than a couple of points. But you might have to get used to the polling showing the Dems in the lead here. It doesn't mean they're not going to win. Just be prepared for the possibility of it changing in the final couple of months. If Dems did pick this up, that would be pretty embarrassing for the GOP. Ramaswamy is the Trump-style candidate in a state that supported Trump easily. But we have seen Dems overperforming, so this seat is absolutely in play. But it's going to be tough for Amy Acton. She can't campaign like a Democrat in blue states and just say Trump is bad. That's not going to cut it. She is going to have to run as a moderate on at least a few issues, especially on the cultural side. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be a great race and a pretty big test for the Republicans during the Trump midterm. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this race? Is Ramaswamy going to blow it, or in the end, is he going to win it by 5 or 6 points? What kind of campaigns did they both have to run? Let me know what you think down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.